What's going on, everyone? Dustin here with Next Mile Media, an upgrade to my F.O.ReaLiving page. Really, the intention behind it was to create a platform where I could share all of my adventures. And so what better thing to do than take you along on a drive, kind of share the why and the direction that I'm headed. I really wanted to buy a vehicle that was a little bit more fuel economic with all the driving that I do, and the Audi S3 2015 Technic version really drew me in. I've always been a big fan of Audis, as I traded in my 2009 A3 to get into my 4Runner, and I really love this little car. So many easy mods that can be done. But one of the reasons I also wanted to create this video was to just kind of give an example of the dangers and the things that can be hidden in the daylight when purchasing a used car. I found this at a used dealer lot in Calgary, very reasonably priced, but since owning it for the last couple months, I've definitely found a few issues. I'll just kind of list some of the issues first that I found. One of them being the transmission mount was cracked. Not sure how that happened, as the Carfax for this vehicle showed that it had not been in any accidents. I was able to get that replaced. I used an S3 transmission mount. It was a bit of a difference with the way that it supported the battery, but I would much rather have a stable transmission mount than the extra point for the battery holder. So that was kind of the first issue. The next being the headlights. I didn't have to turn the headlights on until my first drive in the dark, and that is when I realized that the headlights in this thing are terrible. I was aware that the DRL on the passenger side was burnt out, as the notification was on the dash. So that was kind of my first awareness to there being an issue with the headlights. However, I did not realize how dim they really are. So I do have headlights on the way. There was nothing I could find locally, so I did my first ever AliExpress purchase for aftermarket headlights. So I'm still waiting for those to arrive. The next being the control panel in the center. There were some sticky buttons. The cup holders on this car are not in the best location, so it's very easy to spill stuff over these center control panel buttons. So that was the next thing that I replaced, which really made a difference because I wanted to install the CarPlay module that goes inside the glove box. And to switch between that system and the stock system, you have to hold down the media button for 3 seconds. And that was one of the buttons that did not work at all. So now, with the upgrade and the changes, I now hold the button and switch between the stock system and the Audi CarPlay module, which I use Google Maps for basically every drive that I go on. I pick the destination and follow Google. Wherever it takes me is part of the adventure. So that was the next thing. This car came on 19-inch wheels, and for winter I needed to get something different, as my first drive on the snow and ice with the sport tires was not much fun. So I did go with the 17-inch so I could get a little bit more rubber under there, and I went with studded tires. So the snow and ice is much more enjoyable to drive on these days. What was the next thing? Marketplace has been my friend. I found a gentleman selling the turbo inlet on there for fairly cheap, and when I went to purchase it, he was also had a couple other things stashed away that he didn't know he was gonna want to sell at the time. But when he asked if I was interested, I said, yeah, let's see what you got on the go. So he took out the intake and the turbo muffler delete. So that day I walked away with the intake, turbo muffler delete, and the turbo intake. So those have been a great improvement in the sound and the turbo capabilities in this car. And I have been enjoying the sounds of the turbo. The next upgrade that I did was to get it tuned. I have a integrated engineering stage 1 tune, high torque 93 octane, along with their DSG tune. So stage 1 on both the ECU and TCU, which was another great improvement, really increasing the performance in launch control, as that is one of the funnest things to do in this car. Put it into launch and just get pinned to the seat, which is a feeling that I had missed being in the 4Runner for so long. So now having the options to stay on pavement and get a little bit of launch going on and be able to hop in the 4Runner for some off-roading adventures. Now I kind of have the best of both worlds, and I'm really loving it. So that's kind of the direction of where things are headed. I do want to get stage 2 tune on here. That's kind of the next few things that I'll be purchasing, is to get up to speed for the stage 2 tune. So that will happen within the next few months, I'm hoping. And then my plan is to just start getting rid of all the chrome trim that is on this vehicle, as I just want it black and white. What's next? Yeah, that's kind of just everything I wanted to cover. I do have a coolant leak in this car, so that's kind of another thing that I will be replacing over the next while, getting that leak fixed. I've been taking my car to Dr. Dub in Calgary for everything. Zoe has been fantastic.